Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. We are on part 3 of our video here, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my thunderstorm sky. I'm going to add that first and talk about a couple different ways to get that in there, and then we'll talk about shading. So here is my lightning storm. I'm going to go ahead and place that in there, and I'm going to get that adjusted a bit. Let me hide my layers there for a second and see my horizon line is. So something about like that I think looks pretty good. And now I want to remove the blue sky originally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this back here, and there are a number of different ways to do it. So let me show you 2 different methods here real quick. I'm going to click on the country road layer, and I'm going to go ahead and choose add a mask layer. And here's the real quick, simple way to do this. I add this mask layer to it, grab my gradient right here, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my gradient is set from black to white, and then I'm going to click, and the longer you drag, the longer or more subtle that gradient is going to be. So it's going to create a gradient on the mask layer, which is going to hide, the black part and show the white, which is going to reveal this underneath. So that's a really quick way to kind of blend 2 photos together. Now, I know that it doesn't look perfect. I want to really have mostly that sky up above, and as it gets to the horizon line, it kind of fades out. So that's one way to do it. You can kind of play around with it. I could go back and hand correct some of this layer if I wanted to. So that's one way. All right, let's try a different way. Let's go ahead, and we're not going to apply, we're going to delete, and we're going to start over again. So let's go ahead and keep the lightning under here. Let's grab our sky with the quick selection brush. So quick selection brush right here. I'm just going to drag over the sky like that, and it's going to grab the blue sky. I can go ahead and hide the Pear house for a second here. So it did a pretty good job of grabbing that. I know there's going to be a couple missing pieces here, but let's give this a try. So I'm going to go ahead and have that selected, and once I hit mask, it's going to do kind of the opposite thing, because it thinks you want to take your selection and keep that available and hide everything else. So I'm going to simply hit Control I or Command I on my keyboard, and I'm going to invert the mask, and that gets the effect that we want. I think in general that looks a little bit better. Now I know I need to do a little bit of correction, but I think overall this gives us a slightly more accurate look, although I can see that I think we're just off. There we go, off the edge a little bit, or something is on the edge there, but maybe that's a little glitch. Oh, it was just a little glitch. Okay. I want to show you one more cool trick here. So now that I have the sky masked out, I've got this original kind of tree island in the background, and I want to go ahead, that's kind of distracting me. I would love to get rid of that. Again, a number of different ways to do this. I'm going to go ahead and have this layer selected, and I'm going to grab the patch tool. So the patch tool is right here. It might be hiding under the spot healing brush. And here's how we use the patch tool. I'm going to go ahead and click. Now I can tell already it's not going to work on a smart object, but we'll fix that in a second. So I'm just going to take the patch tool and just kind of surround the object that I want to get rid of, which in this case is going to be this tree. And you can see it has the nope, you can't do it symbol. But as soon as I click, it's going to say, hey, do you want to rasterize a smart layer, smart object? And I'm going to say, yeah, let's do that. And now that it's rasterized, I have it selected, I'm going to click and drag, and I'm just going to sample an area on this that has kind of the same basic vibe. So I'm going to go right here and do that, and that looks pretty good. Sometimes you might have to do it twice to kind of get it a little bit more the way that you want, and if you hit Control D to deselect, there we go. I can still see a little bit of it there. I could try that a couple more times, but overall, that pretty much solves my problem. So I think that is a pretty good way to get that sky in there. So we just did the selection of the sky, masked it, and then you hit Control I on the keyboard to invert it, and use that patch tool to kind of hide that pesky tree back there. Okay, we are getting there. I think in this video, I want to go ahead and stop at this point since we're at about 4 minutes, and in the next video, we'll dive in and start talking about shading and how to get this really matched up. So I will see you in the next video, and we'll hopefully wrap this up.